שמנחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שמנחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שמנחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שמנחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שמנחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שמנחים גם יחד.
A warm welcome to everyone who's joining together in our prayer community this evening. Welcome to all the long-time members. We love that you are part of our congregation and we rejoice in you. Welcome to our new family members whose support of our synagogue we appreciate and applaud. Welcome to the visitors among us. We feel lucky that you've joined us for these sacred days of prayer and celebration. Welcome to our GLBTQ families, to our single parents, to our seniors, to our interfaith families, to our college students, to Access members, and to all the dynamic individuals who are with us today. Welcome to Ali Cohen, our rabbinic fellow, and her mother Eve, who is with us visiting for the holy days. Welcome to Jonathan Stinson, our cantorial soloist, and your wife and your twin baby girls. We always love seeing them. And we wish you the ability to sleep while you're in town serving our congregation. Welcome and thank you to Dr. Mark Bailey, our choir director, and his faithful High Holiday choir members. And welcome to our online community. Though you're not with us in our brick and mortar building, you are part of our Minyan and prayer community, and we are so glad that you're joining us in prayer today. If you'd like a name to be included in our prayer service for healing, please email us through the website. A special thank you to our technology committee for your energy to ensure that all of us can benefit from a powerful sound system tonight. And I remind all of you here as well, if you have a hearing aid, we have a T-coil system, so you just need to switch your hearing aid to the telephone setting. This high holiday season, we're blessed to be part of the first cohort of Reformed synagogues in the country to be using the new Machzor, the new prayer book for the season. These books are available for the whole community to borrow because of the generosity of donors. We thank you for bringing the mitzvah to our congregation. And please remember to return your prayer book at the end of the service. If you want to own your own copy, you just have to go to the office. You'll notice this Machzor, this prayer book, is different from the red book we've used for 25 years. This prayer book emphasizes inclusivity with many names and understandings of God. The prayer language is gender inclusive, and all the prayers are in Hebrew, English, and transliteration, so that we can all participate according to our own comfort level. The prayer book allows for the worshiper to choose to read and follow along as you see fit. And I promise to direct her as best as I can, with the knowledge that a new prayer book can be a little discombobulating at first. I think that you will appreciate the changes in the spirit of inclusivity, the additions of more traditional liturgy that have been skipped in previous books, and the ability to pray in any language along with our community. Tonight we pray together as one community, as one family. So let's take a moment to turn to one another and introduce yourself so that you know the names of your prayer community. Feel free to ask about Rosh Hashanah lunch or Yom Kippur breakfast plans. Be sure to invite anyone who has no place to eat because that's a big shanda in our tradition. And let's turn to our camera real quick and give a big wave to welcome our 80 people online right now who are streaming from your homes and offices and hospitals, and we're saying Shana Tova as a community. So as we begin our service, I emphasize the importance of turning off cell phones. Not only are they distracting to the worship environment, but they actually affect the speed of our streaming ability. So by turning off your cell phone, we ensure that all those people at home and in hospitals can stream seamlessly. As we begin our Erev Rosh Hashanah service, we acknowledge that each of us comes to prayer with different needs. and different modes of expression. Yet sitting side by side here in the sanctuary, we hear the sounds of one another's praying voices as if they are our own. Every Jew is different, and yet together we realize the oneness of our faith. May this service offer you what you seek, strengthen your connection to your faith, and provide an opportunity of reflection and healing. We'll begin on page 11. And we welcome Margot Strauss up to light the candles. Margot is 99 years old today. As Margot lights the candles, we remember that we can be strong and healthy and brave no matter our age. And we also think, Margot, on your birthday of your husband, John, and the way he modeled what it meant to welcome people, to greet people with love and affection, so that even as his memory continues here, we all think of him and those who knew him.
The first mitzvah in Torah is let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live forever. May our ideals burn bright, forever undistinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good and reaching for you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshonu b'mitzvotav v'tzivonu lahadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshonu b'mitzvotav Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shemen kiyonu v'kiyonu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Continue responsively on page 12. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. This is the season of the soul, a time to rejoice, a time to reflect, a time to return, a time to gather around the table with loved ones and friends, a time for song and silence, for prayer and confession to open the heart, a time to retreat to our sanctuaries within, a time to renew the life and spirit of our community. This is the season of attentiveness, a time to notice what has unfolded and what has not, a time to regret, a time to forgive, a time to remember cherished dreams and high ideals erased by reality. This is the season of hope, like mist rising at sunset, like dew descending at dawn. Our hopes beautify and nourish everything they touch. Our hopes make us partners in creation, pursuers of peace, people who aspire to a world with justice. This is the season of awe. When our eyes behold it, may we feel blessed. When we turn towards each other, let us feel strength. When we seek the holy, may we find purpose. May we find courage. May we find love. Page 15.
תיקו בחודש שופר, בכסל יום חגנו.
the new moon, at the full moon, for our feast days sound the shofar, for that is the law of Israel, the way of the God of Jacob. We continue silently through page 19. Page 19. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Yehi ratzon shinizikeh livrochotecha, Bishnat chameshet alafim shvi'im b'shesh, Elohei olam, barech otanu, ved kol be'Yisrael, v'chidush yamenu, b'simcha u'v'shalom, b'nechama u'ometz lev, b'chilutz atzamot u'vruach et natna. Yehi pri tzvatenu mikubal v'ratzui milfanecha, bifros Hashanah hachadasha, la'ad modim anachnu lach, al matnat hachayim. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5076. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you. In the new year that stretches before us, we are forever grateful for the gift of life. We rise together for Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 20. Page 22. Blessed are you, Adonai, your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk, as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars, arrayed across the sky, reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive, and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. beyond all space and time, your love enfolds your people Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and when we rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. For you are blessed, the one who loves your people, Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 33. At the bottom. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross this sea and survive. Inside you is a Moses. Within you, Miriam dances, unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song.
Adonai et Yaakov
Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom, and through your wisdom restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives. Be our shields, make us stronger than the enemies we face, illness and war, famine and sorrow, and stronger than the enemies in our hearts, wickedness and sin. Carry us to safety as on wings, for you are the monarch of grace, the sovereign of compassion. You are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us, that we may come home in peace, now until the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'akol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed One, you spread over us a canopy of peace, a shelter of shalom over all Israel, your people, and over Jerusalem. Kaddish on page 40.
ועל מה דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו להלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושמחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Please rise.
Declare your grace.
וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Page 55. Page 54. Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of remembrance. Eternal our God, remember us. Amen. Be mindful of us. Amen. And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen. We continue on page 65. After a long illness, I was permitted for the first time to step outdoors, and as I crossed the threshold, sunlight greeted me. So long as I live, I shall never forget that moment. And everywhere in the firmament above me, in the great vaults between earth and sky, on the pavements, the buildings, the golden glow of sunlight, it touched me, too, with friendship, with warmth and blessing. And I remembered how often I had been indifferent to the sunlight, how often preoccupied with petty and sometimes mean concerns, I had disregarded it. And I said to myself, how precious is the sunlight, but alas, how careless of it we are together. Source of blessings, may we open our eyes to the radiance around us. May we open our hearts with gratitude and our souls with appreciation.
Rosha Bishromecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh Hashalom.
At this time, our thoughts and our prayers reach out to those in our community who are in need of healing, whether physically or spiritually. As a temple community, we pray for Cookie Aronoff, Judy Avner, Mira Barner, Ruth Bergman, Sheila Boniface, Scott Carter, Jerry Fish, Aaron Glazer, Ethan Kadish, Yael Kraus, Jean Hauser, Mel Hudson, Joan Little, Carol Maslin, John McCready, Sophie Mitnick, David Rose, Betty Roth, Daniel Rothschild, Kathy Schwartz, Iris Sham, Don Shear, Anav Silverman, Kathy Simon, Sherman Weinstein, Yehuda Ben Aharon, Deli Ziegler, and Susan Perlman. If you would like to add a name for our healing prayer, please do so at this time. For those we name with our lips and those we name silently in our hearts, we pray for a refuach shlema, the healing that comes from wholeness of body, mind, and soul. And as we pray for them, let us pray too for ourselves, for those who care for them, and those who hope for them. Misha Berach can be found on page 245. Together we sing. Take some time for silent prayer, whether with the words on page 68 or the words of our hearts. Time. I don't think I have ever understood the importance of time until this summer, until I saw life and death seconds apart from one another, until I heard the cries of those pleading with God for more time, until I talked with patience one day and not the next, until I came to know a deeper level of faith, hope, and God. This past summer, as part of rabbinical school, I participated in a unit of hospital chaplaincy training. I could tell you about the lessons I learned in the classroom, but the real lessons came from what my patients and their families taught me, and from what I learned about myself. I sat on a stool in the emergency room next to a mother of a 35-year-old man, as together we stared intently at a heart monitor. The heart monitor for her son who overdosed earlier that day. We stared intently as if we could magically change the numbers before our eyes, as if we could stop time or go back in time, but we both knew how the next few minutes would result. We stared intently as his pulse decreased beat by beat, so surreal. 1 second we stared at life, and then the next at death. The mother I sat with that day told me of her last conversation with her son, a fight over whether she should give him money for drugs or not. She didn't, but she could not help the regret she felt over what their last conversation was about. For her, there wasn't enough time to mend the past. High Holy Days give us the same new awareness of time, whether from the words New Year or Days of Awe, or the metaphor on Yom Kippur that the gates are closing. We realize that time is passing us by. Time is precious. Time is running out. But it is not until we realize the importance of time that we can uncover how to best use it. Our High Holy Days, often referred to as the Days of Awe, are translated into Hebrew as Yamim Noraim. And while we usually translate Days of Awe this way, I believe that there is a better Hebrew translation. The word time in Hebrew is zman. The root of this word not only means time, but it also means preparing and to designate for a purpose. This is to say that we need to be prepared for how we use our time. And even more, there is no point to time unless we are giving it a purpose, unless we are making time meaningful. For this reason, I think it would be even better to call our Days of Awe Zman Norah, a time of awe in which we not only prepare ourselves for how we will live, but realign our purpose for how we will live. So let's start right now. It wasn't too long ago that I learned from Rabbi Don Rossoff a metaphor for our High Holy Days, explaining the difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Imagine that we each have a window in front of us. This window is the window of Rosh Hashanah, and through it, we can see a glimpse of what could be in our new year. Through it, we can see our future selves. Take time to look through and envision our future. What do we hope to accomplish this year? Even more, who is the person we hope to become? What might we change this year, and how do we hope to do it? Can you see a better you? Do we see someone we are proud of? Do we see someone God would be proud of? Now, looking through this window, I'd like us to imagine that we each won the following prize in a contest. Each morning, your bank account will deposit $86,400 into your private account for your use. However, this prize has some rules. 1, everything that you don't spend during each day will be taken away from you. 2, you may not simply transfer money into some other account. Nice try. 3, you may only spend it. 4, each morning upon awakening, the bank opens your account with another $86,400 for that day. 5, the bank can end the prize without warning. At any time, it can say game over. It can close the account and you will not receive a new one. What would you personally do? You would buy anything and everything you wanted, right? Not only for yourself, but for all the people you love and care for. Even for people you don't know, because you couldn't possibly spend it all on yourself, right? You would try to spend every penny and use it all because you knew it would be replenished in the morning. Actually, this prize is real. Each of us is already a winner of this prize. We just can't seem to see it. This prize is time. Each morning, we awaken to receive 86,400 seconds as a gift of life. And when we go to sleep at night, any remaining time is not credited to us. What we haven't used that day is forever lost. Yesterday is forever gone. Each morning, the account is refilled, but the bank account can dissolve your account at any time without warning. So what will we do with 86,400 seconds? Those seconds are worth so much more than the same amount in dollars. The author of this magic bank account story is unknown, but it was found in the billfold of Bear Bryant, the legendary Alabama football coach. How will we make the most of our time here on earth? In this age of selfies and Facebook, of electronics that consume our time without our realization, how will we choose to use our time this coming year? Perhaps it will be spending time with family, or finally making time to do the things we haven't had time for, taking time to volunteer or help out one in need, finding time to listen more actively and speak more sincerely, or to love more deeply and learn more passionately. Spending time, making time, taking time, finding time, racing time, ahead of time, on time, sparing some time, killing time, or worse, wasting time, out of time. Looking through the window of Rosh Hashanah at our future selves, what do we hope to see? How will we make the most of our time? But now let's take a moment to imagine we each have a mirror in front of us. A different type of glass, for a mirror reflects back what's in it. This is the mirror of Yom Kippur that forces us to look back at ourselves and within ourselves. It forces us to confront our past deeds. The mirror represents our time for personal reflection. And I think that this part is even more frightening. But if we take the time to do it, we can be better people because of it. For me, I had to begin this personal reflection a bit earlier this year. One part of hospital chaplaincy is examining oneself, one's strengths, weaknesses, and relationships, much like what we do on Yom Kippur. I'd like to share with you some of my own introspection because it has helped me to realize the importance of time, and I hope it will help you too. This summer, during my hospital chaplaincy, one of our tasks was to evaluate our relationships. The rationale is that in delving into the way we interact with others and those in our lives, we would come to better understand ourselves and therefore come to better interact with the world around us. After looking into my mirror, I knew there was a conversation with my dad that I needed to have, that I wish I had earlier in life, that I finally had this summer. Both of us missed out on more than 10 years that we could have been an active part of one another's lives. It was difficult to begin this conversation, but what has come out of it is a stronger, healthier relationship. Just like the mother in the hospital with her son on the stretcher, for us, there may be conversations we can only imagine having, words we wish we never said, or words we wish we had said. For some of us, there are conversations we may only be able to continue in prayer. But if we do have the opportunity to say what we need to say, we need to speak up, to have those hard conversations that are just waiting to happen, that need to happen. Because after all is said and done, then you will know that you did all in your power to mend what is broken, to right a wrong, to stand up for yourself, to stand up for another, to say sorry, to say thank you, to say I love you, to attempt to create change. You will know that you did everything you could and have no regrets. Whatever it is that you need to say or do, you need to do it. Gosh, I could almost be a spokesperson for Nike. Just do it. Or better yet, just do it. Truly, what is the value of teshuvah, of this looking at the mirror, looking within ourselves and cleansing the mind and soul, if we do not allow it to compel us to act, to be our best selves, to draw us closer to God's holiness? Here we are in Rosh Hashanah, looking through our window of our future, our time to realize the generous bank account that is life itself, that is our gift from God. Next week is Yom Kippur, our time to look at the mirror of introspection, our time to make peace with others and ourselves, and to accept all of the challenges God throws our way. But what represents the days after our holidays are over? That is the shofar. The shofar is our call to action. It is our wake-up call. It beckons us to do something. There comes a time when we must stop planning out the future, cease from ruminating on the past, and finally act. Rabbi Saul L. Teplitz, the author of Life is for Living, wrote that the secular New Year can be compared to a watch that tells time. Rosh Hashanah can be compared to an alarm clock that not only tells time, but also awakens one from slumber and bestirs one to responsibility. The shofar is physically nothing more than a ram's horn, but for the Jew, it is a spiritual alarm. The shofar is the present, and at the same time, it is what we will do about the past and the future. The shofar represents all that is possible. It represents the gift of possibility. So when the shofar sounds, let it be a reminder, a cue, a prompt to act, to do what is in our control. Then we can know we've made the most of our time. Remembering that day in the hospital room, watching a young man's heart rate slow down, beat by beat, I can't help to ask myself if I'm living the life I want to live. If we were in that mother's shoes, would we have any regrets? If those we love died today, would there be words unsaid? Are we living the life we want to live? Like that moment in the emergency room, the High Holy Day season is the wake-up call for Jews, a season that awakens us to our priorities. It is our spiritual alarm. I'd like to leave you with a poem entitled Each Day by liturgist Alden Solovey. To start this day with joy, to end this day with peace. To start this day with longing, to end this day released. Live each day with valor, with trust, with hope, with faith. Live each day with wonder, with kindness, awe, and grace. Hold fast to sacred moments, hold fast to precious love, hold fast to one another, hold fast to God above. Hold courage through the hours and humor through the tears. Hold God above your sorrows, hold God above your fears. To you I must surrender, O God of hidden spheres. You are source and shelter. To you I pledge my years. May we all make the most of our time in this new year. Shana Tova.
We rise together. We're on page 74. Avinu Malkeinu, strong was the faith of generations before us. In exile they proclaimed enduring hope. In the shadow of persecution they affirmed a transcendent love and compassion. Ours is a different age, less confident and certain, more tentative in its trust. There are many who say to the works of their hands, "You are our gods." But when our worship centers on our own creations, we feel less gratitude, more doubt and despair. This is the paradox of our spiritual lives. We grow smaller in self-exaltation, nobler when we reach for you. On this night of return, let us find the humility to come close to you and open ourselves to your presence. For you are absent only when we fail to make room for you in our hearts, distant only when we turn away from you. Now, as others have done before us, let us overcome doubt and speak these words of affirmation. We call you Avinu, as loving parent, forgive our wrongs and failings, accept us in our human frailty. We call you Malkeinu, as sovereign of our souls, help us rise from our brokenness to build a world of shalom. To this vision we offer ourselves anew. Page 76. Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata. Together in English. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, you alone are our sovereign. Avinu Malkeinu, lemancha rechem aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, for your sake show us mercy. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu leman shemecha. Avinu Malkeinu, act towards us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, shalach refuah shlema lechulei amecha. Avinu Malkeinu, bring healing and holiness to the ill among us. Avinu Malkeinu, kra ro'ah gazar dinenu. Avinu Malkeinu, allay the harshness of the decree against us. Avinu Malkeinu, kodvenu v'sefer geula v'yeshuah. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, zochrenu b'zichron tov lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, remember our goodness and call it to mind. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh lemancha v'hoshi'enu. Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake and save us.
Avinu Malkeinu, shema kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, chamol aleinu, ve'al aleinu, ve'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu,
כתבנו בספר חיים טובים. אבינו מלכנו, חדש עלינו, חדש עלינו, שנה טובה.
אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, חדש עלינו, שנה טובה.
אבינו מלכנו, שמע קולנו, שמע קולנו, שמע קולנו.
We remain standing as we continue on page 78 together in the English. Lift this cup for the year that is gone, for mountaintop moments and the taste of joy, celebrations shared, milestones met, all we've mastered and achieved since last we met. For wedding rings, tears, and kisses under the chuppah, new babies, first words and first steps. For the children who bless our homes and bring life to our community. For b'nai mitzvah and confirmants, young teachers of this holy congregations, ours to cherish and guide with love. For beloved wives and husbands, sisters and brothers, for loyal friends who grow more precious with each passing year. For this community which nourishes us all. For all we've learned, for all we've struggled through, for challenges surmounted and disappointments met with courage, for last moments shared with those we loved and lost, for parents and grandparents whose memories are with us forever. We lift this cup for the year that is gone, for the year that begins. May we meet it in strength, in unity and hope. We lift life's cup and celebrate survival, so may we sanctify each day that is ours.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל עם, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה את יום הזיכרון הזה, יום תרועה מקרא קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ויום הזיכרון. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Amen.
We continue on page 82 with Aleinu.
כמשפחות העזרה,
87. These things I know, how the living go on living, and how the dead go on living with them. So that in a forest, even a dead tree casts a shadow, and the leaves fall one by one, and the branches break in the wind, and the bark peels off slowly, and the trunk cracks, and the rain seeps in through the cracks. And the trunk falls to the ground, and the moss covers it. And in the spring the rabbits find it and build their nests inside the dead tree, so that nothing is wasted in nature or in love. Tonight we remember the yartzites, the anniversaries of the passing of Bertha Barron, Esther Ramirez, Albert Bryn, Ethel Jane Callner, Jenny Russo, Ethel Lerner Stromberg, Sylvia Zimov, Bert Appel, Murray Bader, Sarah Foreman, Pauline Spector. If you are remembering someone and you'd like to share those names now, please share those names. And if you are in mourning or commemorating a yahrzeit, please rise first. We acknowledge you and we mourn along with you as we rise together as a community of comfort for all those we mentioned out loud, those we hold in our hearts, and for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, as we continue on page 90 with our words of comfort, Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma tivrach yirteh v'yamlich machuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh zechol be'Yisrael, Bagala v'zman kariv v'imru, Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kedusha, le'ela v'obrechata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiram v'ama v'imru. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imru.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
As we conclude our service, I want to thank everyone who made tonight possible. Thank you, Ali Cohen, our Rabbinic Fellow, for your energy in building dynamic family programs this high holiday season, and for your powerful words and wisdom on time and your presence on this bima. Thank you to Bob Zeke, who is part of our stream team, ensuring that our services are accessible to individuals across the globe who are interested in welcoming worship service. Thank you, Dr. Mark Bailey, and your amazing choir. That Allah Hainatzur was incredible, for lifting our spirits with soulful singing. And thank you, Jonathan Stinson, for your sharing your exquisite voice with us. Thank you to Denny Reed Miller and all the ushers who volunteered throughout the high holiday season for welcoming us and keeping us safe. Thank you to Tom Glassman, President of Temple Sholom, for your hard work in leading our community. Thank you to our executive committee, our board of trustees, our building, moving, design task force, and all those who serve on committees to help build the holiness of our Sholom community. Thank you to our incredible staff, Jenny Costello, Julie Solomon, Ken Setzer, Ginny Lillis, Valerie Habib, Adam Bergen, Faina Gotkin, for ensuring that today runs smoothly for all of us. And thank you to all of you who contribute financially to Temple Sholom. It is you who keep these lights on, make days like tonight possible, and sustain our community. And if you're not a member of Temple Sholem and would like to learn more about being part of our community, or if you are already a member and would like to learn about becoming more involved, just check with us in the welcoming desk in the foyer. And don't forget to return those machzorim, those prayer books. We need them tomorrow. Thank you for all of you for being here, for sharing your voices, and for filling this room with song. We're going to conclude on page 96 with Yigdal, and we're going to do the first and the last verse.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח נמצא מאליהם מציאותו אחד אליקים גויים כבודו אליו גם אצור לאחדותו חיי עולם נתן בתוכנו ברוך הדעות שם תהילתו חיי עולם נתן בתוכנו ברוך הדעות שם תהילתו.
A blessing for the new year on page 98. Let's do this antiphonally. So this side will start and this side will respond. I think we can figure that out together. Our God and God of all generations before us, may it be your will in the coming year to grant us a year of blessing bestowed and receive, a year of community and compassion, a year of delight and exaltation, a year of enlightenment, a year of friendship and forgiveness, a year of going up in gladness to the land of Israel, a year of health and healing and humor, a year of inner strength and well-being, a year of joy and Jewish celebration, a year of knowledge and learning for its own sake, a year of love between parents and children, friends and spouses, brothers and sisters, a year of mitzvot and moments of sweetness, a year of nature protected and enjoyed, a year of optimism and hope, a year of peace pursued with perseverance, a year of quiet and tranquility, a year of rain in its season, a year of song and spiritual growth, a year of Torah study and tikkun olam, a year of understanding and unity, a year of vows fulfilled and violence overcome, a year of wisdom acquired and shared, a year of coexistence among the families of the earth, a year of young and old reaching out to one another, a year of Zion aglow with a light for us and all the world. Our God and God of all generations before us, grant us a year of gratitude to you for the most profound of blessings, your gift of life. Feel free to connect to one another if you feel like it. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you, so that each of us can be better in this world and be filled with love and courage, so that the world is a better place because each of us are in it. And together we say, Amen. And Shana Tova. Happy New Year.
Shana Tova. Shana Tova.